Hey everyone, my name is Joey Shalius. I am the writer and producer on a song called Heartdrop by Timo, and because that track just hit 12,000 plays on Spotify today, I thought it'd be fun to invite you behind the curtain a little bit and show you my process. When Tegan first brought to me the idea of a lover's tarot card themed project, I figured the most romantic era we could kind of delve into is my favorite era. I'm an 80s baby at heart. I've always kind of loved the unbridled romance of the decade, the boombox over John Cusack's head and John Bender's fist to the sky in Breakfast Club. Let's start with kind of this 808 drum pattern. Kind of like a Feel It in the Air Tonight kind of a thing by Phil Collins. I'd kind of build from there. I'm a sucker for these kind of big glittery synthesizers, these kind of Stranger Thingsy sounding. Add all that together, add that 808 in. But it needed a backbone. And I'm a big fan of like kind of the 90s trip hop sound, these kind of like dirty, kind of slanky drums. And so I wanted to give it this kind of, almost like a Britpop, trip hop kind of. It's not quite syncopated, but it lives in that kind of dirty space. So you put all that together, and you have the basis for what becomes the kind of main groove of the track. The interesting thing about this song is I'm not writing it from my perspective. I am trying to write from a young Tegan's point of view, who was very into Jane Austen and Bronte and Little Women and all those wonderful things. Tegan always had her nose in a book, so in juxtaposing the sort of young Tegan sweeping romance of literature with my kind of 80s John Hughes film point of view, I figured in the chorus we would need to shift focus to this almost kind of Dickensian. We got picked staccato strings, we got a glockenspiel, it gives it kind of a playful quality. And then when we bring those drums back in, now we're melding the two worlds, bringing those pads again. And the groove just rides. I think when you're young and you're in love for the first time, you think that you're going to marry everyone you meet, and you kind of have this youthful fantasy over what that day is going to look like for you as you get older. So I wanted to incorporate this idea of a wedding bell. So I kind of pitched that around, and I wanted that sound to be descending because in the bridge, I want it to feel like this person is imagining falling in love with somebody else. But if you listen really closely to the way I auto-tune the bells, they're just a little bit off. That's intentional. They don't make a pretty chord. Your ear tricks you into thinking it's right when it's mixed with everything else. But it's just ever so off because it should feel like it hits you in like, I want that to be true, but it's not. Initially for the bridge, I actually had like an old audio clip from the movie His Girl Friday.
10 minutes is a long time to be away from you. Oh, I just said even 10 minutes is a long time to be away from you.
Just didn't feel like it was our own. We kind of wanted everything to be authentic. Tegan was like, hey, do you want to play a guitar solo? I was just sort of noodling around. These kind of big Prince sweeps. Big delay, big kind of arena sound. Vocal, which is actually me. I put my voice through a vocoder. I pitched myself down here. So then when you add add Tegan's voice on top of that, you have these kind of swirling chords that mixes with the the kind of Victorian romance of the strings and the 80s romance of the synthesizers, and it all begins to feel very melancholy and timeless, which I like. That was the point. So yeah, that's a little bit about Heartdrop. I hope you learned something. There's lots more cool music coming for you. Peace and love.